removing the dependencies. So I am showing you the example of how we have a dependency. So here is a text editor. Text editor have a private variable called spell checker. So now this spell checker becomes the text editor becomes dependent to the spell checker. So whenever spell checker gets changed, text editor have to worry about those things. So like that, both objects get depending on each other. In an IOC scenario, it's different. So here the text editor is not directly dependent to the spell checker. Again, the spell checker is just an interface which can be changed using another instance of the same spell checker, and this spell checker is being injected over the text editor, and thus the dependency is being removed. So it's simple example about how it's being dependent and not being independent. Now we are going to see about DAO model. It's this example is just to make you aware about DAO concept. Everyone will be involved in this DAO things on their real life, but it's just to explain a little bit in detail about how it is, which thing is being called as DAO model. So there is always a data source, and there is a data access object which is being used for doing the CRUD operation. Then there is a business object which you can call like a Java object. So at the end there is a client. The client is your front end, business object is your back end, and which is calling your data source to get information. So here we have an example like there is a table, book table, and book DAO is being used to do CRUD operations over the book table. So from Flex we are going to access the table by the service book DAO. So everywhere the book table is being referred as book VO, book value object. So this is the whole DAO model. The DAO model is to achieve synchronization between DB and your front end. When you are going to implement more value objects, that's more tables, you have to repeat your code. That's my care, where I don't want to repeat by using the dependency injection and IOC. So let us get into detail at the end of the session with our exercise. Okay, so we are here, Swiz Framework. So it's not a deal to worry, it's so simple, but I just for making some funny expression I put up this picture over there. Okay, what Swiz users are saying, already these guys are using it. What they are saying, someone from Sin Corfield is saying that broad choice evaluated a few frameworks and settled on Swiz as the keystone behind our workspace product. Okay, and someone else is saying like, personally I think it's way better than Kengom. He is personally saying that, but I don't think like that way. Kengom is best on its way, where you use simple things. Swiz is better on its own way. So its frameworks is your own choice based on your own problems which you want to solve. Okay, why Swiz? Because those guys told you to? No, not at all. But Swiz is simple, effective, easy to learn. I will prove that point in our session, and designed to help you write less code. It's the major point which is improves the productivity of everyone, encourages loose coupling through MVC. So MVC is always there. Let us start what's Swiz all about. Okay, any Flex application require these parts. Remote service is required to connect you to the backend or whatever, Java, .NET or PHP, anything. And there is models, which is collection of data, and there are controllers which manages the logic, means whenever any events being fired, the controller is responsible to map them to relative work to be done. Then there is the view, which is the main phase of your application, which is being seen by end users. Components need each other. All these 4 components need each other, there is no doubt. They have to get wired themselves, use locators, verbose XML, everything. Swiz helps in this way, like IOC is being in the way to help you wire themselves. So components get wired themselves using the IOC. There is annotation, its annotation is inject. You can say inject or 1 or 2 more things are there. I'll get into that. And views communicate with components. So views always required to be communicated to the components through flex events, MVC paradigm. All these things are made easy by dynamic mediator. So again I will explain dynamic mediator, how it fits into the screen. Application needs remote data. Without remote data it cannot be enterprise application. And this remote data have async tokens and responders state around the calls, call being made and response being received and all. All these things are made easy by Swiz responder. So actually it was dynamic responder previously, and it's being changed as Swiz responder from the Swiz 1.0. and Swiz Features. We will get into detail of all these 3 things. One is IOC injects the applications, and dynamic responder, which helps you work better with remote service, and dynamic mediator, which helps you handle the events easily by mediating the events, and a lot more. Okay, Swiz itself doesn't mess with excessive JEE patterns. It's very simple and boilerplate code, verbose XML, and whole thing is MXML written. Or you can write the whole Swiz as MXML or even AS, and overly prescriptive workflow. It's not a overly prescriptive workflow. And IOC with Swiz. So you are expressing the dependencies through metadata or annotations. That means the inject, and Swiz takes care of configuration through dependency injection. Your whole configuration is written in context, and which is being used everywhere. Views also have dependencies such as models or presentation models. So